I was just over on Paul on 4chan. It kind of sucks now over there. I think when they realized they couldn't control any of the narratives, and they meaning letter agencies and other foreign nations and JIDF, and when they realized they couldn't sway people, they just decided, I guess, that we'll just flood it with bullshit so no one uses it. And that's kind of what they did, or it feels like what they did. There's still some good stuff there. You can still find some good things, right? But, and it's like, the last kind of free place where anyone congregates on the internet that, I can really think of. I mean, I'm sure there's some others there. I don't really know about them. But, yeah, they every day they have these threads. And if you've been over there, you've probably seen it. It's these updates on the war in Ukraine, which no one gives a fuck about. Except that it sucks and it's awful that it's happening in whatever capacity it is happening. There's, it's just brother wars, man. It's just Caucasians fighting against each other. And that's why I love it, and that's why they push it. But there are these threads, dedicated threads, which are basically fucking gore threads. You know what I mean? Just intense, like, videos and photography of, like, dead people. Horrible things, just horrible stuff. And they're there every day, and I'm like, who looks at these? No one, And I go in there, and yeah, it's just, you can tell them, and by them I mean, like, people that are paid to be there. Not just them, but, anyone who's being paid to be there. And it's, you can just tell by how they write. You can see the words they use. So, I just started, just posting a bunch of shit I know they don't like. Pizzagate stuff. The hook, the school thing that cannot be named. Circumcision, just all the greatest hits that I know they fucking hate. And I don't mean just they, but also, like, government entities don't like seeing that stuff either, because those are sensitive subjects, right? And of course you get jumped on right away, which tells me everything I need to know, and then just to be sure what was going on, I got a little bit more specific with the insults and posts and things about that, how the third temple will never be built, stuff like that, And that thread went from being at the top, started falling off the front page, and I'm looking, I started noticing there's other ones too that do the same thing. They're the same kind of threads, but they're led by an OP that tries to make it look like they're more of an anon. Like, these are called the comfy Ukraine threads, and it's got the pole, like, octopus logo. Like, look, kids, we're one of you. I don't know anybody that uses that bullshit. Like, if you really, no one does that. Like, you can, I don't know how you can tell, but I can tell. When did I first start going there? I don't know, it was a long time. Well, I've been going there fairly often, mainly just to get news. I spend most of my time on X, if I do end up on 4chan. But Paul always has the news, because he'll always have right up front what's happening with the, main events of the day. So I'll pop by there, but I don't go there as much as I used to. But when I do, it's always bullshit. If it's not stuff about the war, it's just these really dumb threads like, do American women even? And I can't imagine anyone being interested in that stuff. But, hold on a second. Getting a weird spider sense fucking tingle. Happens sometimes, happens. I get wrapped up in what I'm talking about so many times that things get by me a lot. I'll walk by like people I'm friends with, or like neighbors, and I'll blow them off. I'll look at them later. Yeah, no, I don't mean to blow them off, but I'll blow them off because I'm talking about something. I'll look at it later, and it's like, oh, there's so-and-so saying hello to me. Speaking of gangs, I just got out of Ross. I wanted to get some headphones, and all the headphones are now locked up under glass case. So, you know, it's the same problem. But whatever, it's happening in every city. It's weird, like we have, you know, before the pandemic, still sounds so ridiculous calling it that. Because what a pandemic used to mean, you know, and what they changed the definition to mean are really different things. But, yeah, before that, we never had, like, security guards at every store. I mean, the ABC stores, they're just like little, you know, convenience shops. They have guards now and all. It's fucked. Whatever. But the thing I want to say also about those threads is that I've noticed posting to them all my stuff that they hate. You can spam these threads. Like, usually anywhere else, or in my experience, if you post too many things in a row, you know, they'll sometimes give you timeout, they'll sometimes make you wait. You can fucking spam these things, and the captcha isn't hard to read. It's like you click on captions like X, Y, T, B, G, G. That's it. They're all clear. It's almost like they made those threads easier so the feds can post in them easier. There's no restrictions. Like, I was just bombarding it with anti-beast stuff, you know, stuff they really hate, you know, telling them the third temple will never be built. And yeah, they had different settings for those threads. And like I was saying before, there's more than one. There's one main one that is always there, and it has a picture of like gore, someone getting blown up. That's how it always starts. And then, wow, it's weird, I was behind this lady before. And then there's these other threads that do the same thing basically, but they try to make it look like it's more organic or more like, you know, one of us posting it, you know. But yeah, sometimes it happens. I'll be behind someone like somewhere else, and then I'll walk around for a while and go a couple different places, and then I end up behind them again. What is that? I don't know. Just bringing it up. I noticed the change in the music here too. When I first came here years ago, everywhere you went, you'd hear like Hawaiian music, ukulele music. I think I've heard that Somewhere Over the Rainbow song so many times. A lot of restaurants have it playing out in the street, malls, stores back there, like that one that's doing the Fugees now. The music has completely changed. You never hear any island music anymore. And I think that's because, you know, they're all fucking gone. They got rid of them all. And then it's placed like in the Ross Register, and it's just modern R&B. A lot of these places out here play modern hip-hop. And you just never hear island shit anymore. Now, it drove me crazy, of course, sometimes, because it's a lot of it's really derivative. But it's cool. It fit the scene. You'd hear that like ukulele music. Now you just hear like top 40, but very specific top 40. They're not, you know, they're not playing any white music. I don't know if that's because people have started working at these places, or if they're just trying to ingratiate themselves with the new population. But it's fucking bizarre. You don't hear island music anymore at all. As I was walking by that place, there's a woman performing Lauryn Hill's cover of that song there, Roberta Flack song. So many of those artists from the 90s, those R&B hip-hop artists, like, did they write any of their own shit? It's like, oh wow, this is the #1 song in America. It's like the silence in the stream, you know. But I guess if you're a kid, you don't know that. You don't know. I mean, it's the easiest kind of music. You just basically take something that's already been successful and you talk over it, basically, and that's it. So anyway, in conclusion, is it worth messing with them? Not really. It just really isn't. Like, I did it for like an hour tonight, just for fun, while I was doing other stuff. I kept popping in and posting more stuff. Oh, those are island-looking people. Come on. They look like they could be Samoan or something. You don't see that many here anymore. Yeah, so is it worth it? No, not really. I mean, unfortunately, I think they did what they set out to do, which is just to get people to stop using it. X is still pretty good. They haven't completely destroyed X. But Poll, it was when 2016 happened. That was definitely the end. You know, I mean, it was some fun times there. There was some good stuff going on. But once a presidential candidate starts name checking you, basically, it's kind of over, you know, because like, what is that? We have to spend our time and resources. It was funny watching them throughout the years try to get hold of the narrative and just failing miserably, like constantly. Invisible gauging coming through. The frustration, it was fun to watch, but now it's just we're just gonna make this board suck so bad no one will use it. And that's kind of what they've done. I mean, the thing is, as it was really a containment board, I think what you have now is you have a lot of these ideas that used to be held in this area are now spreading all over the internet. You have a lot of stuff on X, like a lot of red pill stuff on it. And not like just people being able to say the N-word. I mean, people being able to share information without having it be throttled or censored or something. So it's like they disperse that area and just put people all over. I start seeing more like what people would refer to as based sort of people in all kinds of different places. You know, stuff that you'd usually only used to see on 4chan, you're now seeing in more sort of mainstream areas. And yeah, they get banned sometimes, but it feels like that feeling, that spirit has now extended out of there. So I think eventually what they're just going to have is a place where they all sign in and post at each other. And it's funny, like those Ukraine threads, all them posting at each other. No, people don't give a shit about Ukraine, except that, you know, I wish it wasn't happening because it's another brother war. You know, it's meant to, it's a blood sacrifice to kill off part of the world's population in the crosshairs now, and that's it. And that's it. But yeah, you know, whatever. Occasionally you'll find something good, but anytime something good happens, right? And I hardly ever post there, but sometimes I'll find something. Like I found the other day, I started a thread about an essay Crispin Glover wrote years ago about Steven Spielberg. At the time, I guess everybody just thought he was fucking crazy and like, you know, didn't understand it. But now it makes a lot of sense. And I put some information about that up there, and it got a lot of interest, but not enough to keep it from quickly being, well, it got a lot of initial interest. That's how people, and by that I mean there were a lot of people trying to bump it, like bump, because, you know, they wanted more discussion on it. But of course, it's not as important to them as this is what the West looks like now. You know, it's like, sorry, white boy, you know, and a guy with a picture of a guy with a black out the girl or shit. It's like, it's all that shit. It's like, you might as well fucking, you know, I don't know what you might as well do. Might as well jump. Not off anything, I'm just saying it in the Van Halen terms. Well, until next time, I'm always so uplifting. I hate to, I don't mean to be, you know, depressing. I just, there's a lot of bad shit going on in the world right now. and I'm just reporting on it. So your problem isn't really with me. You're gonna have to take that problem up with the world. That's who you gotta take the problem up with. Until next time, thanks for dropping in. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.